On modern battlefields, a new kind of hunter has emerged. One whose pilots sit dozens of kilometers from the front, whose airframes cost a few $100s, and whose strikes can decide the fate of a platoon or a column in minutes. First-person view drones, or FPV drones, have turned the old rules of armored warfare on their head. Tanks, long the symbols of armored dominance and shock action, now face a form of attack that is fast, cheap, and politically difficult to counter with conventional means. In the fields and suburbs of Eastern Europe, small quadcopters piloted by handcrafted teams have proven capable of finding, guiding, and sometimes destroying some of the most protected machines in any army's inventory. This is not a story of a single technology triumphing overnight, but of a tactical revolution driven by improvisation, economics, and a relentless focus on the problem of how to see and hit what was once hard to hit. Armored warfare dominated the 20th century because tanks combined protection, firepower, and mobility in a single package. The classic combined arms team, infantry, artillery, armor, and air, evolved to solve specific problems, break through defenses, seize terrain, and survive in contested spaces. For most of that history, the key vulnerability of tanks was known. Mines, anti-tank guided missiles, air attack, and poor logistics could blunt their effectiveness. Over time, designers added explosive reactive armor, active protection systems, better situational awareness systems, and integrated networks to help crews see and respond faster. Yet these measures were built around a predictable threat environment in which detection was harder, sensors were fewer, and the cost of a single strike was generally high. FPV drones changed that calculus by dramatically lowering the cost of targeting and by making the targeting problem continuous. Not episodic first-person view drones are, at heart, racing-style quadcopters adapted for battlefield effects. Pilots wear goggles or use screen feeds showing a live camera view from the drone, the first-person perspective, enabling very precise flying even in complex terrain. What makes them militarily potent is not exotic hardware, but a lethal combination of agility, speed, and low cost. FPV craft can fly fast into urban canyons, approach armor from angles that confuse thermal or radar signatures, and deliver small-shaped charges or improvised explosive payloads directly onto vulnerable points. Turret seals, top armor, optics, engine compartments, or the thin roof armor that many tanks still carry. Their cost, often a few $100s to a few thousand, means large numbers can be bought, produced locally, and replaced frequently, shifting attrition economics in favor of the attacker. The democratization of this strike capability means that small teams, even volunteer units, can produce outsized effects against heavy armor. Nowhere has the FPV phenomenon been clearer than on the battlefields of Ukraine. Since 2023, Ukrainian units and volunteer drone teams have improvised FPV tactics that combine scouting, stalking, and lethal strikes. Videos widely shared and analyzed by open-source researchers show FPV drones racing toward tank turrets, impacting roof hatches or engine bays and sometimes causing catastrophic damage or forcing crews to abandon vehicles. Those images illustrate a larger pattern, a conflict where large, slow, armored formations became vulnerable to small, agile sensors and effectors networks. This forced commanders on both sides to adapt doctrine, disperse forces, and increase the use of camouflage, concealment, and deception. The result is that massed armored advances, the kind that defined armored warfare for decades, are now operationally risky in environments where adversaries can mass FPV operators and cheap loitering munitions. Reporting and battlefield analysis show that FPV and loitering munitions combined with artillery and reconnaissance have played outsized roles in destroying or disabling tanks and vehicle columns in Ukraine. FPV operations are often simple in concept but sophisticated in execution. A reconnaissance drone or an observation post will locate armor or a column. FPV pilots are given grid coordinates and sonic or visual cues, then launch hammer-like attacks at vulnerable points while flanking observers or artillery mask the deeper defense. In many documented cases, FPV drones have been used as precision interrupters. They harass tracks, blind sensors, and force crews into hasty exposed maneuvers. They also act as cheap guided munitions when fitted with shaped charges or fragments. Teams of operators coordinate over secure chats and radios. They adapt routes in real time, and they often work in tandem with artillery or guided munitions to finish targets that are suppressed or immobilized. The synergy between FPV crews and other sensors, including commercial satellite imagery, cheap reconnaissance drones, and electronic intelligence, makes this approach more than a novelty. It is a system of systems that undermines the armor's traditional edge. Open-source tracking of actions in the conflict shows multiple examples of such tactics producing rapid losses of armor at scale. One of the most consequential dimensions of the FPV era is simple economics. A modern main battle tank can cost millions of dollars and take substantial industrial effort to produce, maintain, and crew. FPV drones, by contrast, can be locally made from commercial parts or purchased in bulk for a fraction of the cost. When an attacker can commit dozens or hundreds of low-cost systems to a contested area, the defender faces an attrition model that favors swarm and saturation tactics. That means the defender cannot assume that a single loss is an acceptable operational cost. Every vehicle loss degrades logistical throughput, crew availability, and morale. Open estimates and unit loss trackers compiled by OSINT groups show armored losses in the Russia-Ukraine war in the thousands, and analysts link a portion of those losses to drone-enabled targeting and small munitions attacks. The economic pressure is not just material, it also shapes political decisions. The more tanks lost, the more constrained strategic options become for high-level commanders and politicians. The rise of FPV drones raises ethical questions beyond battlefield effectiveness. These systems are controlled remotely, often by volunteers or unconventional units. They operate in urban and near-urban areas where collateral damage risks are high, and their low cost makes oversight harder. International law lags behind technology. Attribution and accountability become thorny when small groups, decentralized volunteers, or proxy actors conduct strikes. The moral calculus of deploying weapons that are both cheap and lethal is complex because it changes the deterrent dynamics and lowers the political cost of kinetic action. Debates among scholars and practitioners now focus on how to regulate or standardize drone use, how to ensure proportionality and discrimination, and how to maintain human judgment in targeting decisions that can have far-reaching consequences. Predicting the future of tanks is not a binary exercise. In some theaters, open deserts, high-intensity mechanized maneuver far from urban clutter, or where air superiority is uncontested, tanks will remain indispensable. In other scenarios, dense urban fights, contested littorals, or where cheap unmanned systems can be fielded at scale, heavy armor becomes a liability unless protected by new layers of sensors and defensive systems. The most likely long-term outcome is a diversified force mix. Armor will remain, but it will be used differently in smaller numbers, and supported by pervasive unmanned systems, better short-range air defenses, and tighter integration with reconnaissance resources. Militaries will prioritize agility, networked defense, and survivability over massed formations that were the hallmark of 20th century maneuver warfare. The FPV drone era does not declare tanks dead. It forces armies, planners, and industry to reconsider what survivability and striking power mean on the modern battlefield. Cheap, agile, and proliferating drones have already rewritten tactical playbooks in Ukraine and raised urgent questions for militaries worldwide. If you want to understand the evolving balance between armor and autonomy, watch how doctrine changes, track procurement shifts, and follow the open-source analysis of conflicts. Because the answer will be decided not in laboratories, but on the ground where logistics, training, and improvisation meet technology. If you found this deep dive useful, subscribe for more documentary analyses of modern warfare. Tell us in the comments which aspect you want next. A technical teardown of FPV designs, a field manual on counter-drone tactics for armored units, or a comparison of how NATO and Russian forces have adapted. Stay critical, stay curious, and stay informed.